All right, I think we're live. Shout out to everybody, whether you're here on my YouTube channel, my Twitter page, or the Sports Money YouTube channel, which we're also streaming from this today. Shout out to everybody at Sports Money Network. We're gonna go through the full card. Just give any thoughts, any bets we had. If you guys have anything to say in the chat, please drop it. We'll try to get to everything. What's up, Fresh? Thanks for being the first one in here, bro. Should we do a tap out? I don't know. Let's just leave it like this. This looks fine. First fight. Let me pull up my tabology thing. Sorry here, guys. I'm just getting loaded up. All right. First fight of the night. Quillan Salkilld. How do you say his name, guys? Versus Anshul Jubli.
Quillan?
Yeah, Quillan.
Quillan. Oh, get the stream pulled up. All right. All right. I'll go real quick. I mean, to me, this is just a major squash match. I don't really look at Anshul Jubli as like much of a UFC commodity at this point. He's chinny. He slows down big time. Yeah, unless he's in a fight where he's got some sort of like major grappling advantage, I'm not really looking to do much with Anshul Jubli. Versus this other guy kind of impressed me on Contender Series. Seems like he's got a pace, mixes the martial arts really well. He can throw shots and then go into level changes. So yeah, he seems like a more legit put together guy that the UFC could maybe push a little bit versus I think they tried the Jubli experiment and it already failed. Let's get it, first time on the show. Lucky Tim. What's up, bro? Do you have anything on this fight?
No, I largely passed on this. I thought I was gonna like Jubli at some point because I don't rate Mike Breeden as bad as everyone else. So I figured that there was gonna be a huge like overreaction when he would fight again. But when I taped it, I was like, oh no, he's actually kind of pretty mid. So I just passed on everything. I don't like any props or anything like that. I thought I think that like Salkilld gets kind of desperate with his takedowns sometimes, but he always gets to really good positions at some point, and the pace is probably going to be the his big X factor here. It's like Jubli is just kind of like nonsensical damage sometimes. It doesn't really hit too hard, so yeah, just pass. Nothing for me on this.
For sure. Pirate, what you got here, bro?
I think I'm going to look to get in on Quillan live. I think Jubli can kind of compete with him early. His takedown instincts look good. Striking's good. He's a bit hittable. Gets connected a lot. Yeah, I see it being competitive early, maybe enter in after round one on Salkilld, but I think he finds a finish one way or another.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds like we all kind of agree here. I'm going to click through some of these comments. Yeah, you're damn right. Oh, yeah, okay, this is good. I should introduce these guys real quick. My whole goal in this show is to just kind of bring on people who I would be interested in listening to, and I figure you guys, my audience, will also enjoy. So I just bring on, these are two people that I respect their opinions big time. I chat fights with them in Discords. Relatively unknown to the public eye, but these are guys you definitely should take their opinions seriously, both Lucky Tim and Pirate. Yes, sir. What's up, Ozzy? Yeah, we got a lot of people in here, 170 people between all the different platforms right now. All right, sick. All right, let's go to the next one. Kevin Jousset versus Jonathan Mikhailov. Pirate, you can go first on this one, bro.
Yeah, I had a play on Mikhailov earlier on in the week, and I did some retaping, and I don't really like it. I think he's pretty one-dimensional. I could see a path for him, but I think it's pretty slim. I saw the GTD does interest me at like close to, I think it's like minus 125 I saw, but I don't think I'm gonna get involved. I just not my style. I think Jousset's just gonna be able to defend takedowns, reverse Mikhailov, and win a 29-28.
Tim, what do you think about this one, bro?
Yeah, I don't really have any action on this, so passing for the most part. But if I was to bet, I'd probably bet Jonathan, considering that he like will fight. he'll fight for your money and never stop pushing takedowns. And a big part of my process is to not lay major juice against someone that's going to push the wrestling versus the guy that's just going to kick on the outside and whatnot. And Mikulev is going to try at every moment to close a distance. He throws head kicks and wild stuff. It's kind of like DDP, but unknown. Gavin Jousset's kind of like a bad version of Strickland. But yeah, so I just passed on it. If I was to bet anything, I'd bet Mikulev though. But I just think that the jab from Jousset's going to be there. And I don't rate Jousset very highly at all. And that's all I got. Just going to pass because, yeah, Mikulev or pass for me.
Yeah, like when I first saw this line come out, I was thinking maybe this guy's some sort of jobber, and what's his Jousset, he's got a solid enough game where if you're some sort of Kiefer Crosby or something, just some absolute non-UFC bum, he's going to cover a big price tag. But this guy Mikulev, he's got some grappling skills. He doesn't slow down horribly. Like you said, he goes forward. He kind of creates some chaos. I think Jousset is going to win a decision here. Something about Jousset being ITD, what was it last I checked, like plus 140 or something like that? Like
that, all right.
That majorly doesn't sit right. Just his style of fighting. He's a leg kick, jab, feint merchant, with a judo background. He's not some guy who's looking to like actively take your back the whole time and choke you out or throw hammers with the feet and go forward. Like, to me, he's a super negative finisher. So yeah, I think all the value's got to be on some sort of over or a Jousset decision, something like that.
Yeah, Mikulev looks pretty durable too.
True. Sure. Yes, sir. We'll try to keep these coming. Oh God. Some Tim comments.
I think he knows I used to work in the mall. He's right.
Pirate does look like a high T Pierce. That's a good call. All right. Next fight. We got Cody Steele versus Rong Zhu. All right, I'll go first. So I mean, I couldn't lay the chalk here personally, just because, to me, Rong Zhu has a lot to like. Like, his pace isn't bad. I don't think I love the pace he put on the against that guy Shin, the little Japanese wrestler. His cardio looks really good there. He's going to go forward. He's going to be stalking, and something I always look at is just the athletic baseline of these guys for how high they could potentially go. And Rong Zhu, they talk about the Shanghai Combine. He's like the highest rated Combine score in the history of the Shanghai PI, I believe. So, there's a lot of data points to this guy being some sort of elite athlete, with potential upside. So I'm not dying to lay massive chalk against Rong Zhu, but at the same time, I can understand how people get to that place, thinking about the fact that, Cody Steele is going to have the grappling upside. He's going to have the submission upside, probably has he's probably the better, more technical. I don't know, actually. Who do you guys think is the more technical guy in the feet? I'm really not sure. But long story short, I lean towards the underdog, especially as the price is blown out. But I'm really not passionate about it either way. Pirate, what you got here, bro?
Yeah, I was gonna play Steele at like minus 200 around there, and then I looked back and I just couldn't do it. I think Rong does a lot of things. This gonna sound weird. I think Zhu does a lot of things right. I like his grappling defense. Like you said, he pays himself really well against Shin. He manages distance really well. He's pretty technical on the feet. And I would say that Shin's offensive wrestling, he might not be as physically imposing as Steele, but I'd say his offensive wrestling is quicker, snappier, and would be harder to deal with. I don't rate Steele's wrestling that high. And I don't see where there's like a major skill gap for Steele to be around. I think I saw like minus 400. But yeah, I'm actually looking to play Rong Zhu decision, maybe around plus 800.
Gotcha. All right, Lucky Tim.
So I bet Rong Zhu earlier in the week at plus 200 on DraftKings when I thought it was going to be the highest line. Because I seen it go to like plus 205 and bet online, and then it fell down a little bit. And it's not something I'm like, putting my entire life on, but I just think I like probably line Steele around like minus 180 because he can push with takedowns and he's got like an implied grappling edge because of his BJJ background and whatnot. But when I watch him fight, I think he's very hittable on the feet. He's largely inexperienced, and I don't really rate a lot of the people he's beaten before he gets to the UFC and whatnot. And I think he wrestles too late in rounds. He doesn't necessarily initiate wrestling from the beginning. I don't see him check leg kicks too much. And I think he's only fought at lightweight twice. I think every other fight it's been at MMA. Maybe I don't know about his grappling. I think he's only fought MMA at lightweight twice, and that was in the Contender Series against a guy that was on a week's notice and in his debut. So I just think that he's just a little reckless with his striking offense. And when you get hit in the head, you lose fights. I wouldn't be shocked to see him win or knock Rong Zhu out, considering that Rong Zhu just had his head cracked open in September. So if I was so I like Rong Zhu at the price, but I really wouldn't be shocked to see Steele win. He looks, offensive pressure, physical wrestling, all that good stuff. But I like Rong Zhu's counters.
How often do guys come back from a broken orbital this quick? Doesn't this feel like a pretty quick turnaround?
I think so, only because Dustin Stoltzfus, I can't remember how long he said he was out, but he said the elbow that he took from Bruno had him, it was still injured when he fought the hockey player, the dude that fights like a hockey player. I can't remember his name. Mark.
MAB.
Yeah, when he fought Mark, he said that it was still partially injured and that he was worried that the UFC wouldn't clear him, and his eye didn't swell up as bad as Rong Zhu's, so I'm no doctor, but it's got to be a little bit of a concern because September It wasn't that long ago.
No, yeah, for sure.
That was a really good fight. The Rong Zhu and Padilla, like I love.
I was on Rong Zhu there. I keep underestimating that Padilla guy, and Rong Zhu's hittable.
I was on Goes the Distance. I remember typing it out to Dogfather in DMs. I was like, how is over 1.5? How is this lined 1.5? So the over hit and the goes distance didn't hit. I remember telling him I gave him no finishing upside with his hands, and I was wrong.
Yeah. Steele decision. I could see it. All right. Next one. We got Alexander Topuria, Elia's older brother, taking on Colby, the slickness, thickness. Tim, you can go right back at it. Do you have anything here?
No, I have nothing. I don't think that there's much to say. I think like Kobe's not the worst, but I don't think that this line is going to go anywhere, even live. I feel like he's probably going to struggle a little early if Topuria is shooting takedowns, which I'm going to guess he was. I know he's only fought twice in 2 years and whatnot, but that's I do have that. I did bet Topuria to get over. I did bet Topuria to get one takedown on the bet online for the $100 limit for whenever it dropped. And I've looked at angles of like Topuria decision and over 1.5 and whatnot, considering it's a men's bantamweight fight and thickness doesn't look like a quitter. And there's just not a lot of information. So I just ended up passing. I took the over 1.5. I'm sorry. I took the over half takedowns for Topuria. That's all I got.
Sweet. Pirate, do you have a read on this fight?
Under 1.5, Topuria rounds 1 to 2, no method. The thickness is a jobber.
Yeah, it was so weird that I heard stuff about the Topuria's management literally reached out to this guy directly to try and get a fight.
So he didn't just try. I watched an interview on it, and I'm like watching this interview, and I'm like, he says like, oh, well, isn't it weird for someone to reach out to you? He's like, I thought it was a bit weird, but whatever. And yeah, the guy reached out to him while in camp, and I'm pretty sure that they just pulled Cody Haddon out because they knew Cody Haddon was going to whoop his ass. But yeah, and then they signed him on a 1-fight contract, and they I mean, I don't like anything I see from him at all. He's going to get killed in my opinion.
Sweet. All right. Yeah. Sorry. I'm just plugging in my computer real quick. I'm running low on battery. Okay. To me, it's just a setup squash fight. I mean, I don't really think there's much that you can put into this Topuria guy based on his tape. He hasn't fought anybody. Seems to move fairly well, like be a fluid athlete and whatnot. But you got to imagine he's going to be a type of guy that will maybe look for a fade opportunity. But I don't really know. I'm going to wait to see this fight, use this as a data gathering fight for myself to try and get a read on how good this guy is going forward and see where exactly I can kind of put him in terms of being a UFC level guy. But I don't really know. If I was forced to put action on the fight, I'm probably throwing Topuria into some sort of parlay, just because it's hard for me to imagine that this guy Colby thickness has a whole lot for him. But no play for me either. Okay. Next one, we got Wang versus Bruna, Brasil. All right. I know Pirate has some sort of opinion here, so I'll let him go first.
Yeah. I'm on Wang KO. I really like it. I watch back Bruna's fights, and I could say she's improved, of course, but defensively, she's always the same, walking back in a straight line, head up, hands down, always has a hands down. I just think it's a horrible match against like an elite striker like Wang. I just feel like this is round 1 or 2 KO pretty handily, pretty easily. I also don't like the move up for Bruna too. It's just random for me.
Makes sense. Tim, what do you think?
Yeah, I largely agree. I don't think I wasn't as high on Wang as like the market was when she was minus 1,000 and whatnot. So, but I feel like if she was going to be minus 1,000 again, it'd probably be in this fight. I'm pretty low on Brasil overall, but I do need to respect that she's improving. I didn't really think that she was all that big for 115, so I'm also a little confused with the move up, but they're around the same height, I think. Yeah, they're around the same height, same reach and whatnot. But yeah, I just passed. I don't have anything in this fight. I thought Bruna was pretty fragile. And I was surprised Molly McCann just fought the way she did. But not really, though. I mean, the fights with Loma and Shauna Bannon are horrible looks, and she's really not too far from them. And I'd be surprised if she shows up massively improved here. But I don't think that she's like drawing dead if she could offensively wrestle enough, but I don't really rate her offensive wrestling that much. So just another pass, unfortunately. I don't have anything exciting to say.
No, it's good. Yeah, so I mean, to me, it's pretty clear why they're bringing in Bruna, Brasil. I think Pirate's onto something, and since she's not durable, she like for a woman, she really doesn't take a shot very well. You don't see too many girls like that get knocked out cold that often. You think of like Amanda Hebos or something like that, and to me, her chin is on that level of bad. She's pretty delicate. Skill for skill, I don't think she's bad. She might be the better jiu-jitsu player than Wang. Probably is if I had to guess. Do I really trust her to try and mix in takedowns and turn this into something other than a kickboxing fight? Not really. I think she's going to come out here and probably give Wang the fight she wants, which is why she probably got picked for this fight. She's a girl who's willing to stand with her. She's liable to get bonked. I'm not getting to this price tag just because I don't, in a women's MMA fight where the grappling upside is pretty clearly along with the dog. I'm not really looking to try and squeeze out anything out of a minus 500. But in terms of what the UFC agenda here is and which of these two fighters has a big upside in the weight class, like it's kind of weird that she's moving up to 125 pounds. She wasn't like a particularly huge 115 pounder either. It screams she's getting brought in to get bonked.
The lines came in quite a bit, eh? Like,
is it
like minus 310, minus 320? I'm seeing.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's a different.
I already have. I have the KO played.
Oh shit! Look at this
unit on the Wang, but I wouldn't be opposed against money line either.
For sure. All right, let's see.
Bruna's not going to grapple.
Bruna get one takedown plus. I mean, this probably feels like a lot of her path. It's hard to imagine her standing there with Wang and coming out victorious. That's for sure. Nice. Yeah, I could. This is definitely her shtick is certainly interesting. She got bonked and then choked out by Gabby. I mean, Fernandez on the feet is no joke at all. I think she's definitely a lot more dangerous to stand with than Bruna.
That line was crazy. I remember I was saying it like this is an insane line. I bet a horrible price because I didn't think that it would get to the minus 1,000 it did. I bet Gabby like plus 350. I was like, this is great. And then it goes like plus 700. I'm like, oh, I'm fucked.
Yeah, the hype job on this girl is huge.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be that wide.
Tim, looking good apparently.
Thank you.
Joker Meg. Yeah, the Joker makeup. I mean, I don't know. I kind of get it.
You get it.
Shout out Pepe.
I think Loma was a bigger favorite than Cong is right now.
I think Loma closed around like 280.
Okay.
Just guessing. I'm completely guessing.
No, I think you're right.
All right, so Pirate likes the knockout here. That's and maybe some money line. All right,
but
go ahead.
No. I was going to talk about something, but we're good.
All right,
let's move on.
Next one, Tom Big Train Nolan versus Vyacheslav Slava Claus Borshchev. So at first glance to me, it feels like a dog shot, just in the sense of Tom Nolan, career trajectory wise, still on the come up, getting better each fight. Super young, huge frame for the division. Meanwhile, Vyacheslav getting dropped by Nazim Sadikov and starting to kind of slow down athletically, zero grappling whatsoever. Like if anyone's going to grapple, it's going to be Tom Nolan. So on principle, I could probably only bet Tom Nolan just on that background right there. I'm not really looking to target guys like Slava Claus with negative grappling at this stage in their career against an A-side improving guy in his hometown, at dog money. Not what I'm looking for. But when we get into the details and the X's and O's, I mean, it's pretty clear that Tom Nolan just can't take a punch for whatever reason, whether it's a genetic thing. I'm not sure what it is. I had bet him against Moda, expecting him to have a, normal jaw, and the first right hand, he's just completely flatlined. And then we're seeing in his next two fights, he gets handed two guys who can't bust a grape. Like they handpicked guys who are not going to be able to knock him out, and he's still getting rocked and wobbled and dancing all over the place. So I can't trust this guy's chin. So if you are defensively void with a bad chin, Slava's the type of guy who's going to be able to find a spot for his hands to make your life hell. So yeah, for me, it's a pass fight. If I was forced to play, I'm only playing Tom Nolan, although I fully expect him to get caught with some sort of left hook and go night here. Tim, what do you think?
I agree with a lot of what you said. The only thing is I could lean to like betting the under, but the more I think about it, sometimes I'm like, I don't know how much under 1.5 equity Tom Nolan really has, because I just don't think he's that skilled of an offensive striker. And Slava would kind of have to like unlearn all of his stuff. Like I know getting caught by Nazim and whatnot, but it's like longer into the round, like Slava would have to like turn his brain off and just brawl. I feel like for Tom Nolan to get a win under, but I mean, all of Tom Nolan's unders are priced playable, and then he goes over one time, and now it's back to evens again and stuff like that. So I'm kind of leaning towards like just donating to the under, I think, but I probably just largely gonna pass. I don't see any value on either side of the money lines either. Tom could just randomly start shooting, but I don't really rate his jiu-jitsu all that well. People have been donating to Tom Nolan sub ever since he debuted. And that's all I got. I just got to pass on this one.
Pirate, what do you think, bro?
Yeah, I played Tom Nolan at like plus 135, and I don't even like it that much, but I just think there's a lot of things that I think that it could play out. Just Slava, he's obviously the much better striker, but both guys really aren't durable, and I can't advocate to get behind Slava at any chalk just at this stage in his career. Like the guy's getting rocked around. He's clearly regressing. And like you said, there could be grappling. Well, there is grappling upside on the Tom Nolan side. He has a long reach. He's a hometown. I mean, yeah. But if I was to give out anything right now, I like the under 1.5.
Yeah, it seems like we all kind of agree it could be a car accident early. Nolan takedown. Yeah, I know. I mean, Victor Martinez was handpicked because he throws nothing concussive in any of his
Jordan Levitt's son.
And he drops
exactly. I mean, you're getting done up in the Muay Thai by Jordan Levitt, and then now yeah. So Tom Nolan getting nearly KO'd by that guy is huge red flag for me. Shout out Amsterdam. Max bet the unders. Ooh. All right.
Pepe's been hot.
What's up? What's up? Topuria Jousset moneyline parlay. I mean, I don't love the idea of parlaying Jousset personally. But yeah, I mean, I think it wins gun to head, that's for sure. Good point. Good point. Maybe Tom can sneak that left hand down the pipe if
Yeah,
Slava
I agree with that.
get careless.
I agree with that.
I don't speak this language.
Dutch.
Yeah. Jousset is a little bit questionable. All right. Next one. We got Jack Farr Jenkins taking on Gabriel Santos. I've kind of lost track of order, but Tim, what do you think here, bro?
I bet Gabe Santos at minus 205 when it was on DraftKings earlier in the week. And I want to add more, honestly. I brushed up on some tape before getting onto the stream, and he's just bigger, more well-rounded. He's got all the upside when it comes to grappling. He switched stance to avoid the kicks. He's durable. He does his defense is a little lacking, but to be expected when you're betting on someone from shoot box. And I think that open mat takedowns, Jenkins isn't going to get up. I think that he's competitive, or he's going to be winning on the feet, more power, just a lot of things going in his favor. So I did bet that at minus 205, and I feel fine about it. I also did bet a little bit of Jack Jenkins' decision at plus 400 earlier in the week when it opened, only to just kind of like cover the initial stake, because I would be surprised if Jack Jenkins won this fight inside the distance naturally, unless he snuck a gun in the cage or something. Because if he knocks him out with anything to the head, if it's a submission, I will jump through the screen like the girl from The Ring if Jack Jenkins submits Gabe Santos. I know it's plus 1800, but so I kind of lean towards the props that are still a little undervaluing his decision equity. I'd be shocked if Jack Jenkins wins by like I just said, the traditional KO. So I feel like Jenkins' decision could be closer to like plus 250 or closer to his money line or something like that. And Gabe Santos money line, I think he could probably give him up to like 80% here in the spot, honestly. I am a little worried that he just gets hit head in the clean. Sorry. I am a little worried that he just gets hit clean in the head a little too much, but he would need to engage in a 3-round boxing match to lose this. I feel like just take him down, open cage against the cage, switch stances. I lean Santos, and I bet him. So hope it hits.
Sweet. Yeah, I agree with a lot of that. Pirate, what do you think, bro?
Yeah, I agree. I think Santos has him covered basically everywhere. I wouldn't be opposed to betting maybe a 3.5. I could only see obviously Jenkins giving him issues if maybe with leg kicks, and Jenkins does make fights close. But yeah, I don't know what to do with this. I taped it and I'm just like, everything's accurate to me. Nothing stands out.
I think Jenkins not being able to get up against Herbert Burns was a horrible look, and he only got up in round 2 because Burns fell back for a leg lock or knee bar or whatever. Bro, he got taken down in the middle of the cage at the end of round 1, not the middle of the cage. He got taken down at the end of round 1, the round ended, and then he was taken down instantly around 2. And Burns is like panicking, like he always does, and it's like I gotta win. So he falls for a knee bar and gets him back up, and then throw him to round 3 too.
Dragging that guy is criminal. Yeah.
Or even against what's the guy's name? Shanis, who was
Don Chanis?
Don Chanis mounted this guy.
The Kimura too.
Yeah, that was
not long ago.
That was a bit concerning for me. So I agree with what you guys are saying. Like, to me, Santos is kind of perfectly built to deal with someone like Jenkins in the sense that he can switch stances to deal with the calf kicks. He's going to be going forward the whole time. I thought he beat Lerone Murphy, and I bet Lerone Murphy in that fight.
Yeah,
so I mean, he's clearly at a super high level. He's got that nonstop pace. His grappling looks super solid. In his last fight, to me, he looked like he majorly leveled up, just physically, athletically, tactically, in every sense. So I mean, yeah, the fact that he's 1-2 in the UFC is so misleading because he's honestly like a potential contender. You know, put him in a 5-round fight. He stands to have a chance against anybody. So yeah, but at the same time, I mean, Jenkins, to me, I'm higher on Jenkins, I think, than the next guy in the market. I really love his IQ. He really breaks down his opponents really well. You hear him talk about the fights. He says everything you'd want to see. He breaks down the tape like a handicapper would, honestly. Yeah. And so to me,
he's gone.
Did he glitch out for you?
Yeah. What do you think he was going to say next?
He,
you don't know what he was going to say? Let's fill in the gaps. He was in the middle of saying he breaks on the tape like a handicapper.
Right? Oh yeah, no, he does. He does on his Instagram. He talks about it.
He's got a big following. So if he break down the tape like a handicapper,
he sounds like he bets on fights.
So you think he bet on himself to lose by decision?
No.
I would if I were him. If he breaks on the fights as much as we do, I'm stalling. So that way, Dagestan can join back.
What's the over? What's the over?
The over's kind of generous. It's over 2.5 and minus 160. It's not horrible.
And the GTD is minus 155.
The GTD is minus 155. That's not horrible.
Santos just got hit. Wow, Mikolev's getting bet down a lot.
Pirate, the show must go on.
What's going on here?
The show must go on.
Is that what he texted you?
I don't know. I'm just assuming.
What's the next fight?
The next fight is Jake Matthews and Francisco Prado.
Oh, give me a second. All right. You have an opinion?
The only opinion I have is if Jake Matthews is a big favorite, the over should be a big favorite.
Yeah.
But I'm not betting anything because I'm never betting Jake Matthews at juice. And I don't rate Prado as a fighter, but, you know, he's young and improving, and he's probably got KO upside. Could be similar to the fight with that's similar to the fight that Matthews had with Semmelsberger, where he just could not stop getting dropped over and over and whatnot. So
yeah, I'm not going to get behind Matthews, but I think he has a few ways to win. Just he can grapple, he can just stand on the outside and jab up Prado. I mean, that wouldn't be ideal, just because hanging with Prado too long on the feet. I mean, it's a risk, but yeah, I was tempted on goes the distance, but someone moved the price up from like minus 135 to minus 170. So yeah, I have really no interest in anything here, but I could see Matthews pacing of late if he grapples and maybe getting a finish. Oh, he sent us.
Yeah, I'm gonna join that. So what do I do with here? Mute. The show must go on. I want to join the chat on YouTube.
Computer, and it turned out that I did not plug in my computer, and it randomly died. That was unfortunate. We had like 500 people live listening to the show. So I figured, rather than just leaving everybody with no talk on the final main card, I would switch over to Twitter Spaces, or at least for the people who want to. We leave this stream. Oh my god.
Yeah, Pyra and I are on a date.
Dagestan.
Oh my god.
My first time doing a face reveal on Twitter, and this is what you do.